In just about 58 days, which has involved a bunch of high profile global tech investments and some rights issue, Reliance has been able to go net debt free. Now, by all estimates, this is quite unprecedented what they've achieved in a short span of time. And given that that's happened in the midst of the coronavirus situation, that's even more astounding. Now, how have they been able to do this? I'm going to turn to Tushar Gupta for answers.
Current 58 days, almost rupees 169,000 crores. This is unprecedented. Of course, the 11 deals that came from Facebook, beginning with Facebook, that put in around 43,000 crore rupees in the Geo platform. It has been an unprecedented cash infusion into the Geo platforms. This is just simply unheard of. Of course, the rights issue, which came in early May by the Ambani family, that was also something to look forward to. Look forward to a 1:15 right issue where every existing shareholder got one additional share for the 15 shares they already held. That enabled the 53,000 crore rupees cash capitalization of the company. To add to that, 11 deals in the Geo platforms totaling rupees 115,000 crores. So total rupees 169,000 crore just in 58 days. So at one point, we had the lockdown in India, MSMEs going out of business, companies reevaluating their plans. On the other hand, we had Mukesh Ambani planning to go net debt free. Now, what net debt free really means is he'll still have a working capital, he'll still be trading with the banks, but now he's net debt free. He doesn't have to really worry about bad loans or things like that. Not that he had any concerns earlier, but being net debt free is going to gain. It's going to help the shareholders with a lot of confidence. It's going to help Mukesh Ambani take far better risks. And that's not just yet. If the deal with BP, the British energy giant, goes through, the total money raised could go to rupees 175,000 crores. So that's a lot of money, and they are net debt free. The interesting thing is, some skeptics thought he won't be able to do it until March 2021, which was the original target. Mukesh Ambani himself thought that he'll manage to do it by December 2020. We are not even done with June yet, and it's already done.
Right. Tushar, what is the significance of this for Reliance? Because they obviously have really big ambitions going forward. So, how does this help?
See, one thing the Ambani business group has been very vocal about is data is the new oil. And the majority money that has come in, that is rupees 115,000 crore, that's coming for the Geo platforms, Karan. So why are they invest? There are 11 additional people who have invested in 11 additional companies which have invested in the Geo platform. Why is the money coming in? The significance is that Geo is betting big on the decade of the 2020s. Ambani, in numerous press releases, conferences, interviews, has emphasized that the shareholders of RIL will see tremendous returns in this decade, and this could be the start of it. You do not get 11 big deals from the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund to Facebook to investors like the Silver Lake partners. You do not get investors like this if there's no significance of that entire company or their plans. Geo has some very serious plans. We've already discussed about the super app they are making with Facebook, which will actually bring together 300 million subscribers alone. There was a very interesting media report the other day, Karan. By 2025, half of India would be on Geo. That's almost 600 million users. We've already discussed by 2025, we'll have a nation of 1.2 billion users. The government is making the push for digital India. Smartphones are becoming cheaper, even though most of them are Chinese, but they are becoming cheaper. And you'll have half of India at least using Geo. Now imagine 600 million users. That's almost twice the population of the United States. That's 1.25 times the population of the European Union. And that's almost half the population of China. This is the number that Geo will alone hold. It will be probably the biggest company in the world in terms of the subscribers it has on its telecom platform. So that is very significant, Karan. That's just one thing. The e-commerce platform, GeoMart, it's already opened in 200 cities. We keep talking about big basket and grocers. We tend to get swayed by the Amazons and Flipkarts, but no one really noticed what was very significant about Geo platforms was that the GeoMart opened to 200 towns and cities of India. So probably it's very common for you to see e-commerce platforms in Pune's and Noida's and Bangalore's, in places like these. But 200 towns and cities, that's some serious number. This is the significance. They are going to the heart of India. They're going to the rural India. the MSMEs, the farmers. This is what's going to push the share price up. They're going to go to the local business stores, the local business owners. That's what's going to drive up the entire game for Reliance. And being net debt free now will actually enable Mukesh Ambani to take more risks, to be more aggressive in terms of its expansion. Often we have seen that the debt obligations stop a company from being very expansionist in nature. It prevents them from taking certain risks. But the situation Ambani is in right now, he will go all gun blazing. And I'll tell you, the people who are holding the shares of Reliance, they will have a lot to gain from it.
Right. Tushar, it's very funny that you say data is the new oil, because Reliance is essentially transitioning from oil to data. Now, let's talk about this. Mukesh Ambani is closing in on a deal, according to reports, to buy some stakes in some companies of Future Group. So, is this sort of stepping up their e-commerce ambitions?
Stepping up big time indeed. Now, he's looking for the holding company. He's looking for the Future Group. He's looking for a significant share in the Future Group, which has been, again, in a lot of problems because of the debt, because of the COVID-19, also hampered their prospects. Interestingly, Amazon holds a stake in Future Retail, which includes your Big Bazaars, your Hypercity. So a lot of people have often visited Big Bazaar. Now, if Reliance gets a share in the holding company of Future Retail, which is Future Group, they'll actually be going toe to toe with Amazon, and that will set up a very fierce e commerce competition in India. Just a few days ago, we discussed about Amazon probably tying up with Airtel because that would have given them the telecom plus e commerce push. Now, if Reliance actually gets hold of Future Group, they'll have a larger sway in the Future Retail. Now, what does that happen? The GeoMart, which is depending right now on the Geo warehouses, on the Reliance retail warehouses, they'll also have the Big Bazaars in the kitty. They'll also have the Hypercity in the kitty. So imagine what it does to the expansion. Imagine what it does to the delivery times. So of course, Mukesh Ambani is not just looking to start just another e-commerce platform. He's looking to start the e-commerce platform. And I'll tell you, Karan, one good thing about it. This is how capacity building should be. What Mukesh Ambani has done, not just by going net debt free, but also by starting a platform like this, is a very good example in capacity building. Due to what is happening with China right now, we all are suddenly talking about the Huawei's, the ZTEs, we're talking about the Vivos and Oppos, and we keep talking about this one phrase, capacity building. Ambani is setting up India's own version of Amazon and probably bigger. Amazon became Amazon because it catered to some 200, 300 million Americans than the Europeans, and then so on. But Reliance, by 2025, it will cater to 600 million Indians. This is capacity building I'm talking about. For long, we've seen GAFA. We've used that, we've used that abbreviation, and the A stood for Amazon. When we speak of GAFA, from now on, it will stand for Ambani.
Tushar, and now while there is so much uncertainty in the aftermath of the COVID-19 crisis about how our business is going to be kickstarted to recovery, it already seems like there are a bunch of players around, and Reliance is going to play a big part in that recovery.
Well, of course, Karan. See, MSMEs have been hit pretty hard by the COVID-19 crisis. And in the long run, I've always insisted on this. For India's MSMEs to succeed, they would need the digital push, which may always not come from the government of India. The government should be in a position to regulate, to govern. They cannot be the creators of the digital platforms that MSMEs might need. This is where Ambani's Jio will step in. It's not just going to be about selling groceries and things like that. It's going to help a lot of local businesses, say in small towns like my Chandigarh in my city, Panchkula, Mohali, all these small towns which otherwise do not have sellers on Amazons and Flipkart. They'll be in a position to tie up, sell to the geography they can cater to depending on the scale of their company. This will be very important. Post COVID-19 crisis, MSME would need a digital push. Ambani is going to help them with that. And of course, we'll see a lot of partners coming up. We'll see some competition. Amazon is going to surely up the game given how Ambani is making his move. But yes, it's good for the customers. And I hope the push, the push coming from the big players also takes the smaller players along. That's what's going to be very interesting to watch out for. For now, Reliance is net debt free. The aggressive expansion is coming. And the MSMEs, the people of India, they have a lot to gain from it. For me, the next 5 years will be very interesting in actually observing how Reliance moves, how Jio platform moves, and people should keep an eye out for that.
Great. Thanks, Tushar.
Thanks.